Most people copy Pinterest boards and think that's their style, but copying trends isn't the same as finding your unique design voice. And the thing is, if you're constantly chasing trends, you'll always feel one step behind. Your unique style is what sets you apart in this industry. It's what makes you memorable. It's what attracts clients who say, I want to work with you. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to uncover your unique design style, the kind that feels authentic to you and that clients will actually hire you for. When you have a clear, recognizable style, people see your work and instantly know it's yours. That consistency builds trust, and trust attracts clients. The right clients for you. The ones who connect with your aesthetic and are willing to pay for it. So this isn't just about finding yourself. It's about carving out a place in a crowded market where people see your work and say, that's the designer I want. Here's the caveat. Locking yourself into one signature style can sometimes backfire. People might think you're a one-trick pony. That's why I like to frame it less as boxing yourself in and more as carving out your niche. Your style is really about attracting your ideal clients, the ones who resonate with your vision and are excited to pay for it. And listen, if you prefer staying flexible and working across a variety of styles, that's completely valid too. Some designers thrive on versatility. But if you've been craving clarity, recognition, and that sense of this is me in your work, then this video is for you. We're going to dig into the process of uncovering your authentic design style so you can stop blending in and start standing out. Now, the first step to finding your style is getting off Pinterest. Don't get me wrong, I love Pinterest. It's great for collecting ideas, but it can be a trap if it's the only place you look. Because what you're seeing there has already been done. It's a highlight reel of trends that are already popular, already saturated, and already on their way out. If you only ever scroll Pinterest, you'll always be chasing, never leading. So where should you look instead? Everywhere. True inspiration comes from unexpected places. Travel, architecture, museum, cafes, nature, fashion, even a random antique store, which is what I normally gravitate towards. For example, maybe you're traveling and you see an old European cathedral. The arches, the symmetry, the way the light is hitting the stone. I don't know about you, but that sparks something in me. Or maybe it's the curved lines in a vintage chair, or the layered textiles in a boutique hotel bedspread. These moments shape your eye. The best designers don't just consume what's trendy. They train themselves to notice beauty and harmony everywhere they go. And that becomes the foundation of a style that feels authentic and timeless. Now that you're looking outward, let's also look inward. Because your unique style is already in you. You just have to notice it. Here's an exercise I want you to do. Make 2 lists. One is your love it list. Everything you naturally gravitate towards. It might be muted colors, warm wood tones, curved lines, lots of symmetry, or maybe it's bold color, eclectic textures, and contrast. Then make a leave it list, the things that turn you off. Maybe you hate ultra-modern minimalism, which is something I don't personally love myself. Maybe shiplap makes you cringe, and it should. Maybe all white kitchens feel sterile to you. Okay, so maybe this is just a list of all the things on my leave it list, but just think about it and make your own. When you look at these lists side by side, you'll start to see patterns, and those patterns are clues to your authentic style. For example, when I did this myself, I realized I was consistently drawn to symmetry, timeless furniture silhouettes, and natural materials. That's why my style leans transitional with classic touches. It wasn't random. It was in me all along. This is where you get real clarity. When you stop chasing what's popular and start paying attention to what lights you up. Once you've studied your preferences, it's time to define your anchors. Anchors are the non-negotiables that always ground your work. They're like your North Star. No matter how much you experiment, you always come back to them. Maybe your anchors are natural stone and clean lines. Maybe it's bold wall colors and vintage accents. Or maybe it's neutral palettes and timeless millwork. Anchors don't limit you. They give you freedom. Because when you know your anchors, you can experiment and play without losing your signature. They're what makes your work feel cohesive across different projects. Think of famous designers. You can spot their work instantly, not because they repeat the same look, but because they have anchors that consistently show up. That's what you're building here. If you're serious about building your style into a career, this is exactly the kind of work I dive deep into with my students inside my course. It's designed for aspiring designers who want to skip the fluff and actually start building a professional career without spending 4 years in design school. I'll leave the link below if you want to check it out. Now let's take this into practice. Mood boards are your playground. They're not just for client presentations. They're for you to experiment and refine your style. Here's what I recommend. Create 3 different boards from the same inspiration source. Let's say you walk into a Parisian cafe and you're inspired by the black and white tile floor, the brass fixtures, and the comfortable seating. Take that inspiration and build 3 boards. 1 leaning modern, 1 leaning eclectic, and 1 leaning traditional. Now step back and ask, which one feels most me? Which one lights me up? That's how you refine your style. Mood boards help you test ideas visually without spending a dime. And when you start seeing consistent threads across different boards, you'll know you're on the right path. Here's the last step, and honestly, the most important. Remember that your design style is not fixed. It's going to evolve as you grow, and that's a good thing. The danger is thinking you need to have it all figured out before you start. You don't. Clients aren't hiring you for a final polished style at the beginning. They're hiring you for your perspective and your eye to guide them. And this is where confidence comes in. Because if you don't believe in your vision, your clients won't either. The most successful designers aren't the ones with the flashiest portfolios. They're the ones who can clearly and confidently say, here's my recommendation and here's why it works. Your style is your compass, but confidence is what lets you use it to lead. Your unique style matters because it attracts the right clients and makes you memorable. You'll find it by looking beyond Pinterest, studying your own preferences, defining your anchors, experimenting with mood boards, and then allowing it to evolve with confidence. Now, I want to hear from you. What's one element you know for sure belongs in your unique style? Is it a material, a color, a shape? Drop it in the comments. I love hearing from you. And if you're watching this because you don't just want a pretty home, but an actual career in design, my course was built for you. I walk you through everything, from the foundational knowledge to getting clients and running real projects, all without having to go back to school or work under someone else first. Check the link in the description to learn more and join us. Just remember, trends will come and go, but your unique style is what makes you unforgettable. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.